Hi everyone, good to see you all again. Welcome to Bad Barry's Bar. Come in and sit down, enjoy yourself. Now, I've got a story I wanted to tell you today about two guys that live next door to each other. And they were good friends. They'd been friends for a long time. They'd been living in their same houses for, many, many years, got on very well. One was Catholic and one was a Protestant. And the Catholic guy had 2 children and the Protestant guy had 6. So one day they're out in the mutual driveway and the guy with the 6 kids, he said to the other guy, he said, I've been meaning to ask you for a long time. He said, you've only got just 2 children. He said, I've got 6 children. He said, you're a Catholic. I thought you would have had 6 and I've got 2. He said, how is it that you've only got 2 children? So the Catholic guy said, well, he said, I use the safe period. And the guy said, you use the safe period? He said, what's the safe period? He said, when you're at work. So be careful. Now, there was a Jewish guy in Jerusalem, and this guy every day would go to the Wailing Wall in the temple and he would pray for 15 minutes at the Wailing Wall. And he's done this for over 20 years, never missed a day. Well, he sort of became quite famous locally. They all knew him, very religious guy. Well, the word eventually got to America that here out in Jerusalem there is this Jewish guy who for 20 years has been to the Wailing Wall making prayers every single day, never missed a day. So they sent a reporter out there to interview this guy. So the reporter went out there and he waited, and sure enough this guy came along, went to the Wailing Wall, and he's there praying and praying. Well, when he'd finished, the reporter went over, introduced himself, and he said, I understand you've been coming here for 20 years praying at the wall. And the guy said, yes. He said, yes, I come here. He said, I'm very religious. And the reporter said, well, you've done all this praying for 20 years. What do you pray for? He said, I pray for many things. He said, I pray for peace in the world, for people to get on with each other, that there's no rivalries. I pray for husbands and wives to get on well together, and for families and children to get on well together. And the reporter said, well, that's very honourable. He said, what results have you got? I said, well, not very good at all. He said, it's just like talking to a brick wall. Sorry, all my Jewish friends. Now, talking about Jerusalem just makes me think about experiences I had abroad. I was very fortunate. I was one of the early guys in the computer business and put computers all around the world. And I had a chance at one point to have a vacation in Burma. And difficult to get in there. It took me 6 weeks to get a visa, but I got in there. Quite a charming place. But what was most astounding was in the middle of Rangoon, there's a hill in the middle, a tall hill, and there's a pagoda on the top. It's really like a temple compound with a number of these temples there. There are 4 walkways and they're each about a mile long, and they come from the 4 segments of the city. They're covered in and you walk up to get into the temple area. And these walkways are just full of vendors selling, joss sticks and coloured things to burn, and it's really an ordeal going up there. They're all trying to sell you stuff all the way along. Very colourful and really quite charming for a visitor. But the temple itself is outstanding. If you get a chance to get into Burma, I know now it's very, very difficult. I mean, it's a military dictatorship, so they don't let many people in. I was told that on the temple roofs, they're all variegated, and there were big blocks of gold, and they told me that was real solid gold up there. It wasn't just gold plating, or gold laid on the top, thin sheeting. It's solid gold. I would imagine by now that's been taken off and used to buy guns and tanks, but I haven't been there for 60 years, so I don't really know. But anyway, look it up in Rangoon, the Sri Dagon Pagoda. You'll find it quite interesting. And I thought it was great there. One of the other things they had there, they had these big, in the park, a whacking great lake. It's only about 2 feet deep, but it's very big. And they have the goldfish in there, the carp. And these things are this big, they're huge. And I understand that goldfish will expand in size. I mean, obviously up to a limit. I mean, don't don't become whales or anything, but they can come from a tiny goldfish, and the bigger the tank they've got, the more space they've got, the bigger they get. And these ones are whacking great things, and there's hundreds of them. People come there and feed them, and it's quite a sight to see this. That's just one of the other little things in Burma that you might be interested in. Well, I've talked to you enough today. Stay safe. Hope to see you soon. Remember, if you like it, press the like button. If you've got any comments, interested in your comments, good or bad. Of course, if they're bad, you know, I'll send my granddaughter after you, and then you'll be in real trouble. Anyway, and if you want to subscribe, you'll get a notification of that whenever we do a new little series. So press the like button if you like it. Press subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. And we know you're serious and you'd like to hear a few more jokes. All right, folks, stay safe. Bye.